Hello, and welcome to Tax Benefits. I'm Marci.
And I'm Katelynn.
And this is our podcast where we share our trash sense of humor with the world.
Today we are on the subreddit Drunk or Child, where they describe a bit of behavior and you have to figure out who did it, a child or a drunk person. And we are on top posts of all time. So let's get going again. That's how I change tabs. I remember now. Okay, first post of the episode.
Tried to pull over as an ambulance screamed by, but then I realized I was walking.
Drunk person.
Drunk, definitely drunk.
And neither.
Neither, I'm just a freaking idiot. That's better than any result I could have expected. That being said, I absolutely do stuff like that. I've only, earlier this year made the switch to wearing contacts part of the time, and I still try to push my glasses up when I'm wearing contacts every single day.
Oh, you know what's fun about being in this city is that they have timed stoplights and not censored stoplights that emergency people can control. So I was sitting at a stoplight, and this ambulance comes up behind me, and, there's a big gap.
Mm-hmm.
And he's trying to wiggle between the middle, and the girl in front of me just is like, screw this, and goes through the red light, and I'm like, I don't have that kind of gumption, so I just turned right.
Beautiful.
Next post.
Vomited on a dog, cried, then vomited on the dog again.
Poor dogs.
Child. I'm going with child because this sounds like something a drunk person would do.
Yeah. Let's see. Ooh, it's a long story. 3 lines. Kool-Aid. My sister ate drink bottles after me warning her of her limit.
Drank 8 bottles.
After me warning me of her limit, she ignored me, drank, and proceeded to vomit on the dog. She ran to the bathroom, crying.
Okay, so the dog wins stupid points on this one.
Where the dog followed her so that it could comfort her. Where she vomited on him again by accident.
Okay, why do you feel the need to clarify that it was by accident?
The twist here is that she was 8 and we were drinking bottles of plastic Kool-Aid. Plastic bottles of Kool-Aid.
I just really like that they clarified that the second time it was by accident. Was it on purpose the first time?
But how did you guys have access to so much Kool-Aid that you knew that your limit was 8? That's how much sugar was in your system. I can't have a 9th. 8 is too many. Okay.
I confessed my love to the...
Oh my gosh! I need to tell an Angela Lauder story. And the reason why you heard me pause is because Mom... I named my D&D character Angela Lauder. And I'll explain that one when I get home.
And I found this out when she was scrolling through Facebook, and I recognized the name.
And I said, oh, Angela did such and such. And she's like, Angela who? Because she hears me talk about Angela from D&D. And I was like, Angela Lauder.
Anyway.
When Angela Lauder was a child, her brother and her put the powder from a Kool-Aid bottle on their white tile floor.
No.
And every time their mom tried to mop that floor from then until they moved out of the house, red Kool-Aid would seep up through it.
I really, really want to know how the new homeowners reacted to that. At my church camp for the 9th grade week of camp, they always do Jell-O and Kool-Aid Day, and it's messy as all heck, and you come out of it from the employee side of things not liking Kool-Aid and Jell-O that much, after all. But one of the contests, the one that I did when I was in 9th grade, was to eat an entire packet of Kool-Aid dry. It was not as easy as I anticipated.
My brother Jason had nobody's back as a child. Well, as a teenager, because I don't know the context. All I know is that this guy, this teenage boy, just a little bit younger than Jason, ate a Kool-Aid packet, and he tried to get it to balance out by drinking a bunch of water, but it wasn't working. And Jason just went up to his mother and said, "Your son just ate Kool-Aid powder." And the look of disappointment on her face was very powerful. But it was like almost like it was like, can't he just keep this crap at home? On a different one, I should pull up the Facebook video for this one. When we were at CIY, this guy named Aaron brought a bunch, like dozens of Kool-Aid pouches, and his plan was to throw them in the pool. And my youth minister, Ross, had been with Aaron long enough to know that you can't stop Aaron, you can only redirect him. So he convinced Aaron, hey, instead of putting Kool-Aid in the pool, why don't you just drink all that Kool-Aid? So he took a single 8-ounce glass of water, put over a dozen, maybe 2 dozen packets of Kool-Aid in there. It was all grape flavored. It was
that's good at least.
A black syrup by the time he was done mixing it all.
Yeah.
And he chugged it all in one big swig. And he like stuck out his tongue and grimaced, and the entirety of the inside of his mouth was black. And his teeth were black, and it was awful.
I mean, I used to dye my hair with that stuff. I don't doubt it.
And then 5 minutes later, as we were leaving, he disappeared for a few seconds. And then he came back, and he said, well, I just made a mess of the girls' restroom trash can. And I didn't go and look, but other people confirmed that he had changed the color of the trash can in there.
This has been Drunk or a Child.
Teenager. Oh my gosh, we have time for one more. This was a good one.
I confessed my love to the girls, plural, of my dreams while bawling my eyes out and giving her all the change in my pocket so she tells me she loves me back.
I think that this one was child, because when I was in the 3rd grade, the kid who said next to me, John, he did that. And then he started begging me for money so that he could get her back. He just needed a little bit more money. And I was like, honestly, I do not support this relationship. I think y'all are too young to date, and Nikki is too good for you. But he guilt tripped me so hard I gave him a quarter. And he gave it to Nikki. And then I guess later on he told her that I gave him the quarter. And later that day I found it in my cubby. She gave me the quarter back.
Plot twist, she was trying to get you to confess your love to her.
No, Nikki was my best friend.
Alright, I'm going with drunk on this one just because that's funnier to me.
I'm gonna stick with kid just because I had a kid who did it and I have to stick to my roots. I was a
drunk child. Nope.
7-year-old child confessing my love to my babysitter before she was leaving for an out-of-state university.
Oh, small child love for older people.
You said that in a bad way.
Concerns me was mainly where I was going with that. But
Okay, so Cardcaptor Sakura.
mm-hmm.
Did you ever watch it or read it or anything?
Not even in the slightest.
Okay, so I watched it when I was a kid and it was on American television.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remembered the main plot, kind of. And when I rediscovered it as a teenager, because the manga was at the library and it was like one of the few things that I could read, even though it was out of my age range, I read it. And there was a thing about one of the like very, very not important classmates having a crush on their teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And the teacher obviously treated her as a favorite. And I was like, okay. Getting kind of creepy here, Japan, the more I keep reading this. And then eventually I stopped having it at the library, so I started reading it online, where I had the translator's notes all the time, and the translator was far more judgmental than I was. And it actually came to a point where I think Cardcaptor Sakura happens in like the 3rd or 4th grade,
Mm-hmm.
and the teacher gives her an engagement ring. And those were some fun notes to read from the translator, who was like, this did not happen in the TV show, and I can give you 15 reasons why they didn't include it.
Well, I was going to inform you that they have Cardcaptor Sakura shirts at Hot Topic now, but after that story...
I mean, I don't think anybody remembers that subplot. And I think it's also been completely forgotten and written off in Master of the Cloud and the Clear Card and Tsubasa and pretty much everything else. They're like, we're not going to acknowledge that part. It wasn't important to begin with. Anyways, that does us for time. Morgan, do you have anything you want to say? Well, if you want to follow us on our Tumblr page, it is taxbenefits.tumblr.com. That's spelled TACKS. And you'll hear us next time.